Pour yourself something strong, coffee, tea, existential dread, whatever gets you through the day, because we're about to take a little trip. We're going on a global tour of humanity's most, let's call them, ambitious attempts at group housing. These aren't just prisons. They're the physical manifestations of a really, really bad day. We're starting with the merely terrifying and descending into places that make Dante's Inferno look like a pleasant weekend getaway. Number 10. San Quentin State Prison, USA. Kicking off our list is a little place in sunny California you might have heard of, San Quentin. It's got a bigger celebrity alumni list than the Oscars, if your idea of a celebrity is, Charles Manson, the Night Stalker, and a who of guys you definitely wouldn't want to carpool with. Now, the classic San Quentin experience was basically the first day of high school, but with a significantly higher chance of getting shanked. Upon arrival, you were heavily pressured to join a gang, and there was no thoughtful sorting hat to help you out. The process was brutally simple. You looked at your skin, found the corresponding lunch table, and sat down before you became somebody else's problem. Getting caught in the wrong territory was a major faux pas, like wearing white after Labor Day, except the fashion police carried homemade knives. If you were ethnically ambiguous, you might buy yourself a precious 3 seconds to explain your complex heritage before the stabbing commenced. But here's the twist. The reason San Quentin is only at number 10, the appetizer of awful, if you will, is because it's gone through a total rebrand. It's like it hired a PR firm. Today, San Quentin is less Oz and more Whole Foods. Inmates are gardening, they're playing kickball, they're taking yoga classes, there are coding boot camps, plumbing courses, and culinary programs. I'm not kidding. A guy can go in for armed robbery and come out a certified sous chef with a killer sourdough starter, better prepared for the modern economy than half the liberal arts graduates in the country. It's the only prison in the world where an inmate might say, "I'm really finding my center in vinyasa flow before my parole hearing." Number 9. San Pedro Prison, Bolivia. Next, we fly down to La Paz, Bolivia, to a place that asks the question, what if we built a prison and then just left? Welcome to San Pedro. Designed for 600 inmates, it currently holds around 3,000, not including the wives and children many prisoners bring along, turning it into the world's most dangerous and depressing family vacation spot. What makes San Pedro a true sociological marvel is the complete absence of guards inside. It's a self-governing city-state run by the inmates themselves. The Bolivian police just hang out at the perimeter, basically acting as glorified bouncers, deciding who gets on the guest list. Their official stance is that this is a progressive new model of incarceration. The unofficial stance, which you can read in their board expressions, is, "Look man, we just really don't want to go in there." The prison operates like a chaotic, heavily armed homeowners association. There are internal elections for a boss, who then appoints his cabinet of enforcers. And these enforcers have a uniform, all black Adidas tracksuits. It's a genius move, really. It says, I am a figure of authority, but also, I'm ready for a pickup game of soccer at a moment's notice. The scary part? San Pedro is basically a giant, open-air drug lab. Cocaine is manufactured inside the prison, leading to an environment where an estimated 60% of the population is addicted to something. The vibe isn't so much correctional facility as it is failed Burning Man experiment. The two main ways to check out of San Pedro permanently are via overdose or getting murdered. It's a libertarian paradise, if your idea of freedom is the constant, looming threat of getting shanked over a drug dispute. Number 8. Bang Kwang Central Prison, Thailand. Thailand. Land of beautiful beaches, incredible food, and a penal system that does not mess around. Bang Kwang, also known as the Big Tiger, is where you go if you have a life sentence, a death sentence, or just a really, really bad travel agent. The population is filled with foreigners who had the galaxy brain idea to smuggle drugs out of a country famous for its zero-tolerance drug policies. It's the international equivalent of trying to pet a sleeping grizzly bear. Here's the onboarding process at Bang Kwang. Upon arrival, new inmates have chains welded to their legs. If you can't afford to bribe the blacksmith, yes, the prison blacksmith, he'll weld them extra tight, ensuring a delightful 3 months of chafing, infections, and deep, deep regret. Don't worry, they come off after that. They don't saw off your legs or anything. They're not monsters. But the real horror is the food. Inmates get 1 meal a day, a single lonely bowl of white rice. On a good day, you might get a splash of fish head soup. As this diet has slightly less nutritional value than cardboard, Inmates supplement their protein by catching and eating rats. Rat meat has become so valuable it's basically the prison's Bitcoin. You can trade a hearty bowl of rat soup for cigarettes, snacks, or perhaps a slightly less depressing meal. It's a grim, rodent-based economy where the phrase rat race takes on a horrifyingly literal meaning. Number 7. Secot, El Salvador. Imagine you take two rival high school gangs, we're talking Jets and Sharks, Montague and Capulet levels of mutual hatred, and force them to live in the same overcrowded dormitory for the rest of their lives. That's Secot, the largest prison in the Americas. It's the designated home for El Salvador's two most notorious gangs, Mississippi 13 and Barrio 18, who were conveniently easy to round up since most of them had their gang affiliation tattooed on their faces. In the outside world, these guys kill each other on sight. Inside Secot, they're expected to be model roommates. Okay guys, no shivving in the common areas, and please, let's keep the murderous glares to a minimum. If anyone steps out of line, they're sent to a dark concrete box for a minimum of 15 days. It's the world's most terrifying group project, and the grade is survival. But the truly chilling part? A non-zero percentage of the inmates are completely innocent. They were just guys walking down the street who were arrested by police or military needing to meet their daily gang member quota. It's a bureaucratic nightmare fused with a gang war, creating a Kafkaesque hellscape where you might be serving a life sentence next to the guy who murdered your cousin, all because an officer had a spreadsheet to fill out. Number 6. Rikers Island, USA. Back in the good old USA, we have Rikers Island in New York, which holds the title for being the Fire Festival of jails. It's overcrowded, unsanitary, and a complete chaotic mess where the people in charge have seemingly given up. On any given day, about a third of the correctional officers just don't show up. It's the ultimate act of quiet quitting, leaving entire cell blocks unsupervised. The inmates, being enterprising individuals, have filled this power vacuum. They run their own gambling rings and fight clubs, which is hilarious because they clearly can't even follow the first rule of their own club. The level of violence is staggering, with hundreds of stabbings a year. But it's not just dangerous for inmates, it's a nightmare for the staff who actually show up to work, with an average of 4 assaults on officers * per Dalton Y. And yet, despite the place being a literal hell on earth, 42% of inmates commit new crimes almost immediately upon release. It's the worst, most violent, most dysfunctional hotel in the world, and apparently, it has a shockingly high rate of repeat customers. Number 5. Black Dolphin Prison, Russia. On the frozen edge of Siberia, where Russia kisses Kazakhstan, lies Black Dolphin. It only houses inmates serving life sentences, cannibals, serial killers, terrorists. The 700 residents have a combined kill count of around 3,500 people, which is an average of 5 murders per person. These aren't your friendly neighborhood tax evaders. Your arrival is an exercise in psychological warfare. You're brought in blindfolded, then bent over at the waist and frog marched through the corridors. This isn't for any kinky reason. It's to disorient you so you can't map out the prison, just in case you somehow get out of your triple-locked cell and fancy a go at their real-life escape room. Once inside your cell, you must stand for 16 hours a day. No sitting, no lying down. You get 90 minutes of fresh air, which consists of being taken to a slightly larger cage outside. It's a place of absolute control, designed to methodically grind a human being down to dust. The dolphin statues out front are a nice, whimsical touch, though. Really softens the image of a soul-crushing Siberian nightmare factory. Number 4. ADX Florence, USA. If Black Dolphin is where Russia sends its monsters, ADX Florence is America's monster den. Located in the Colorado Rockies, this is the supermax of supermaxes. Its residents include the Unabomber, the Shoe Bomber, El Chapo, and other individuals who are on a first-name basis with the FBI. This isn't a prison, it's a human filing cabinet. Inmates spend 23 hours a day in solitary confinement in a soundproof concrete cell. They get 1 hour of recreation in another concrete cage, where they can see a sliver of the sky. The security is something a paranoid tech billionaire would design after binging the Mission Impossible franchise. There are 1,400 remote-controlled steel doors, laser beams, pressure pads, and sniper towers. Since it opened, no one has ever escaped. No one has even tried. The genius of ADX Florence is that it's not just a physical prison, it's a psychological one, engineered to create a profound and permanent state of hopelessness. Number 3. Diyarbakir Prison, Turkey. Now we're entering the truly depraved sections of our tour. Diyarbakir prison in Turkey has a history so brutal it's hard to believe. During the 1982nd, it wasn't a prison so much as a state-sanctioned torture emporium. The list of abuses is long and stomach-churning. Severe beatings, electrocution, mock executions, and having teeth and nails pulled out for no reason. But they also got weirdly creative with their cruelty. There was a torture they called the disco, where new prisoners were thrown into the prison's raw sewage pits for hours. And then there was the captain's dog, a German shepherd named Jojo, who was specifically trained to bite the genitals of naked prisoners. Imagine the HR meeting for that. Okay, team, we need to train Jojo for his new role as Chief Morale Officer. His primary duty will involve, well, it's unconventional. While things are allegedly better today, reports of abuse continue, suggesting they've just gotten better at hiding their work. Number 2. Antananarivo Prison, Madagascar. Some prisons are scary because of the violence. Antananarivo is scary because it's a biological catastrophe. Built for 800 inmates, it now holds over 4,000. Visitors claim you can smell the place long before you see it. It's a sweltering, overcrowded ecosystem of human misery, completely infested with rats, cockroaches, lice, and fleas. At 5 p.m., the inmates are locked into their communal cells for the night. The heat becomes unbearable, and they sleep on the floor, packed together so tightly that no one can move. There's a system. When one side gets too sore, someone claps, and the entire row of men turns over in perfect, sweaty unison, like a miserable, synchronized human rotisserie. If you cause trouble, you're thrown into the hellhole, a room whose floor is a literal swamp of human waste and rat corpses. The rat problem is so severe that the prison experiences regular outbreaks of the bubonic plague. Yes, that plague. It's a medieval nightmare in the 21st century. Number 1. Camp 14, North Korea. And here we are, at the absolute bottom. Camp 14-inch North Korea isn't just a prison. It's a different reality. You don't end up here just for committing a crime yourself. You end up here because your uncle criticized the regime, or your cousin tried to escape the country. It's a system of 3 generations of punishment, meaning entire families, including toddlers, are condemned to a life of hard labor for the crime of a single relative. The 40,000 prisoners are systematically starved, forced to eat rats, frogs, and grass to survive. If they're caught eating unauthorized food, they can be executed on the spot. Guards operate with total impunity, with brutal beatings and public executions being a part of daily life. It is a place designed to erase not just a person, but the very idea of that person, their family, and their future. It is a meticulously engineered hell on earth, a chilling reminder that the most terrifying monsters aren't the ones locked up, but sometimes they're the ones holding the keys.